Hello. Happy almost New Year. So a couple days ago, we recorded our first episode for the Postcast podcast, which is great because it's got dialogue. And that's what I want to do mostly for the Postcast podcast. However, I just wanted to continue a tradition that I started last year. And as long as we're staying in on New Year's, I'm going to continue to do this. The rising sign predictions are going to be in the first episode. So this is just the year recap for 2022, what I'm expecting. And then a year from now, I'll be able to stop and look back at this. So a lot of it is going to be weird kind of wording because I don't know exactly how it's going to come together. And these are just my interpretations. And there goes Jay. Don't forget about the pizza. We start off with January 1st. We have the Sun in Capricorn trining Uranus and Taurus. It seems like something like government saves the day. Not really sure. I mean, it's New Year's Day. Not much going on. We'll see. January 2nd, Mercury goes from Capricorn into Aquarius. Maybe there's talk of rules translating to society. Then we also have a new moon in Capricorn that day. So what I'm kind of thinking is sudden unexpected news in government or structures in society. Government plan and action to help climate change related. Sudden news about money or food will be taken care of. Plant the seeds for new boundaries and inclusivity, new rules. January 5th, Venus retrograde in Capricorn will be sextiling Neptune in Pisces, which should be actually pretty nice. That will be about reviewing what works with authority, especially reviewing things that happened 8 years ago, but also dealing with the Neptunian vibe. So if there is something unclear, and that's going to seem really vague, so I'm going to skip that one really, but it says, we'll work with an ideal collective, revisiting past and new steps forward. So something for that. And then I'm going to kind of as I was doing these predictions for each transit, then after a bunch of them, I'll do a recap for what I was thinking for all that, trying to tie the things together. January 8th, we have the Sun in Capricorn conjunct Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Strong will to keep the structures that work. All is not lost. So the recap I've got from January 1st to 8th is something that wasn't planned to happen structurally will end up sorting itself out. The programs in place to help people should work. Okay, so then moving forward, we've got January 10th. We have the Sun in Capricorn sextile Neptune in Pisces. The government will side with what the people seem to want, but there's some law and order fire being lit. Ideologies that aren't practical will be called out, maybe political correctness. We also have January 11th, we have Mars in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces. Faraway travel on hold due to COVID. Outsiders shake things up. January 14th, we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. And I think that would be about getting the pulse on what the majority of people wants. January 16th, we have the Sun in Capricorn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Government suddenly shady and unclear. Not really suddenly, but not to be trusted. January 17th, full moon in Cancer. Manifestation of something cared for, global climate news, or society mourns. January 18th, so I'm very interested to see how this day goes. In the last 2 years, when Uranus goes direct, there's been some volcano or earthquake that's happened. So in 2020, the Philippines volcano went off. And last year, there was the earthquake in Indonesia. So January 18th, I'm looking to see if, hopefully nothing, that would be nice, but we'll see. It would be astrologically interesting if something did happen. January 19th, we have the Sun in Capricorn going into Aquarius. Reality check, checking in with the people to see where the rules don't work. New limits. So the recap so far with that, government or structures in society takes too long. Potential for natural disaster in Asia. Focus becomes on the people. January 23rd, we have the Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, revisiting issues that had been neglected beforehand, this time being reminded of what didn't work, reviewing the metaverse. I think part of the reason I was thinking that is Aquarius can deal with technology and electronics and electricity, and with when you have communication and the spotlight on what the communication is and reviewing all these new ways of technology with communicating. Obviously, I think we're going to hear a lot about the metaverse this coming year anyway, regardless, but just saying. January 24th, we have Mars in Sagittarius moving into Capricorn. Action shifts from fire to earth. Anger shifts from raging to working within the system. Did something get decided in court? An attempt at breaking down structures, more practical arguments. Then on January 25th, Mercury in retrograde. It's been in Aquarius. It's moving back into Capricorn for a bit. Argument in favor of government again. Reviewing news of what happened January 2nd and before, dealing with the government or structures set in society. So recap of that is big tech versus government or structures would be equal to the government winning, or the big structures, or Capricorn is all, I usually just go with the word government, but it is the societal structures or the safety nets that we have put in place. So, that'll be interesting. And I went with big tech, I think, with the reviewing with the technological part with the large groups of people. So we'll see. January 28th, we have Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. The government making unethical power moves, maybe with money under the table. In which case, some of the stuff we wouldn't even be able to tell, especially when it's like shady stuff or stuff dealing with Pluto. You might not always see what's going on. January 29th, so Venus direct in Capricorn and the moon will be going into Capricorn. So on the same day. I don't always look at the moon aside from new moons and full moons and eclipses just because it moves so fast, and that'll be something else that I'll get to at future. But if I notice a correlation on the same day as something else happening, I will note it. Something needed in government will be re-understood and new seeds for a new system could be planted. January 30th, we have the Sun in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus. Focuses on trying to help the masses, or at least address them. Sudden change in food or money could shake society. Okay, now we're in February.